Sam Dunn's all-new podcast, Caught in a Rant. Available now, exclusively on Patreon.
What's up, Banger fans? Sam Astrot back to bring you my first review of 2023 here on Overkill Reviews. This week, I am reviewing the 9th full-length album from the Finnish melodic death metal masters. This is INSOMNIUM. That was the epic sounding The White Christ off of INSOMNIUM's latest offering, Anno 1696, out today, February 24th, via Century Media Records. INSOMNIUM originated back in 1997 in Finland and have been bringing you consistent melodic death metal bangers since their first album, In the Halls of Awakening, in 2002. Frontman, harsh vocalist, bassist, chief engineer, and storyteller Niilo Savonen is accompanied by Val Freeman and Marcus Van Hulla on guitars, Yanni and Freeman on duo clean vocals, and Marcus on drums. The band has seen quite a bit of worldwide success since releasing my favorite album from them, Shadows of the Dying Sun, back in 2014, and then followed by that, releasing 2 #1 back-to-back albums on the Finnish charts, Winter's Gate in 2016 and Hearts Like a Giant in 2019. Throughout the years, they have mixed their sound with some doom and progressive elements based on the album's themes and storylines. Fast forward to 2023, they now bring you possibly their darkest offering to date. Anno 1696 talks about the atrocities of the witch hunt trials that took place during that era in Finland, and fittingly, this album has some dark and grim themes and lots of blackened riffing to carry the weight. So let's get right into it. Alright, on to the first point. It's a massive positive: emotions. The standout feature of this band is the emotion they are able to create with their riffs and atmospheric songwriting. If you don't feel anything from listening to INSOMNIUM, then you're probably numb to your senses, and you, my friend, should go get therapy. The entire album is filled with valleys of emotional landscapes that take you through a wild journey from anguish to anger to sadness to hope to grief and melancholic joy. If you don't believe me, check this out. That was a clip from the song The Witch Hunter, which has an amazing push and pull between the intense and somber emotions between the harsh and clean vocals. The entire album is filled with many parts like this. Second, and probably my favorite point of this album, or this band in general, is the storytelling. INSOMNIUM are fantastic storytellers, and this album probably has my favorite storyline they've ever written to date. Anno 1696 takes us into a dark and troublesome time in Northern Europe that was filled with witches, superstition, and bloodlust. Sounds like a metal album, huh? Well, pretty fucking metal. The album's main theme is portrayed through gruesome and morbid lullabies, where the witch hunt was in full swing all across Europe. Frontman Niilo said that the Torsaker witch trials were a horrible source of nightmarish inspiration for the lyrics. Countless women were beheaded and burned. Along with this were stories of cannibalism and child murder from the years of the Great Famine. About 30% of Finland's population was killed during 1696 and 1697. Seriously, my heart goes out to you guys. Troublesome times for paranoia and bloodlust. Anno 1696 deals with this dark chapter of the Finnish history. You know, real life doesn't get much more metal than this, right? My third in a row positive point is the performance. The performance on this album is simply phenomenal. The riffs, vocals, lyrics, album, and production are all top-notch. The album also has some surprising yet amazing features, my favorite being on the song you heard first featuring Rotting Christ vocalist Sakis Tolis on The White Christ. That feature was the perfect choice for that song. Other songs like The Witch Hunter that you heard earlier enthralls you with magical guitar weaving and its cinematic aura. Tracks like God Forsaken possibly takes the crown as the most epic song on the album, clocking in at well over 8 minutes with its grandiose nature. The song is also graced by the otherworldly vocal talents of Johannes Krokela, the first time ever a female voice is ever featured on an INSOMNIUM album. The entirety of all the songs together really give you a complete journey through the storyline of this album. Alright, before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our Patreon channel. As you know, Sam Dan has his podcast that's Patreon exclusive only, so show us some support there.
Thank you, nothingness. Thank you, clarity. Thank you, silence. Yeah.
Alright, with all the points above that are positive, I gotta point out one negative. I will say that the album's pacing felt a bit lopsided, slow, and boring to me at times, and don't hate on me for this. But aside from songs like Lillian, which is just over 4 minutes, the rest of the songs are between 6 to 8 minutes plus, and can be hard to get through for someone with less patience who are looking for more exciting moments throughout the album. Now, if you're a prog fan or a Doom fan, you probably don't have any issues with this, as you have infinite patience for droning vibes. And INSOMNIUM are a melodic death metal band with Doom and prog vibes, and yes, they have written longer songs on their previous albums. However, this album, being so heavily story-driven, has a double-edged sword with the pacing, as the parts with swifter transitions don't hold so much weight, and the parts with drawn-out epic moments take you on an emotional journey, but like a movie or waiting for like the action scene or the climax. It's just really hard to balance both so perfectly. So I'm not going to be too judgy about this, but as a reviewer, I must point it out to you. Alright, with that said, the fifth and final point is consistency. INSOMNIUM has always been extremely consistent. They have never strayed from their path, have stayed true to their vision and roots, and you gotta give them props for that. Songs like Lillian is an untamed beauty within its darkness that comes from the timeless INSOMNIUM vibe with just a faint flicker of hope. That was probably the most classic sounding INSOMNIUM-ish song on the album. Like I said earlier, you can really feel the emotion from the riffs, solos, vocals, lyrics, and overall performance on the album. If you have been a fan of INSOMNIUM, then I think you'll be very happy with this one. You know, I go into each of these album reviews with a fresh mind and try not to put my personal opinions, because it's not about me. The album review is for you. And I don't review any albums that I don't enjoy at all, so obviously you know that I enjoyed this album from what I said earlier. Have INSOMNIUM broken the mold? Probably not. Have they revolutionized melodic death metal? Also probably not. Have they gone soft? Definitely not. INSOMNIUM wrote an album with a solid overall performance, some very interesting surprises, and a grand storyline. Therefore, I'm calling out my favorite witch in existence and giving this album a 4 Bayonetta out of 5 here on Overkill Reviews. Alright, now it's time for my favorite section, the shoutouts. First up, I got the Finnish symphonic black metal band, it's And Oceans, with their latest offering, As in Gardens, So in Tombs, which came out back in January 27th on Season of Mist. I love how experimental this band has been throughout the years. Their 2001 album, Am God, is my favorite offering from the band till date, with its otherworldly industrial sounds and insanely creative songwriting. Definitely check that one out. Next up is a Swedish metal band, Avatar, with their latest offering, Dance Devil Dance, which came out on February 17th via the band's own Black Waltz Records. Avatar may be a strange, weird-looking band with a funny attitude and circus-ish thematics during their live shows, but these guys are extremely talented storytellers and ultra-creative songwriters. Their live headlining shows are a spectacle to witness. Last but not least, I got Code Orange with their latest offering, What Is Really Underneath. This also came out on February 17th via Roadrunner Records. The band exploded with their 4th album, Underneath, with their spastic sound switching between hardcore punk to metalcore to alternative to industrial, and they take this not just one, but a whole bunch of steps further and are releasing this 13-track, completely reimagined remix of their last album, Underneath. I think it's going to blow your minds. So Banger fans, what did you think of this album? Leave me a comment below and let me know. Until next time.